Hello, my loves. Welcome back to journal entry number 2 of prep. I have been so excited to film this one because I've been having so many things pop up for me and like realizations this in just a week of my prep journey and just like reminiscing over these past like 6 years, 5 years of working towards this goal. And I just was so excited to share them with you. But I'm feeling really good. I'm feeling a little hungry. Like I'm starting to get a little bit hungrier throughout the day, which is so normal. Like it's just a part of the process, of course. And with that is coming with more like sleepiness. You know, I'm starting to notice that like around noonish is when I start to crash. And also, I am waking up at 4:30 in the morning to ensure that I get everything done that I need to get done, like cardio, abs, posing, works, like getting it done so that I can like go and actually like work and do my stuff, you know? And so I'm just noticing that like by the time that noon comes around, like I'm getting kind of sleepy, you know, I'm getting like revved up to have my pre-workout meal, which is one of my heavier carb meals. I'm feeling like very, very depleted. And I've been needing to take like little nap skis, even though I haven't really been naps. It's more like me just laying there kind of like, you know, resting my eyeballs. And Thursdays are always rough for me. I think it's because of my weight drop that I've been having every Wednesday evening, which is my lower calorie day because it's my rest day. So then when I wake up in the morning and I do my check-in with my coach, you know, there's been like 2-pound weight drop, 3-pound weight drop, stuff like that. So like Thursdays, I really, really feel it, especially after training with Marlon. Like you guys have been seeing, like we've been still hitting PRs. We've been maintaining a good amount of strength. However, I have noticed that this week in particular, not significantly, I would say about, my strength felt like it was at like 100% and now it like dropped to like 75, which was like a little bit sad because, you know, like it feels so good to be strong in the gym and to feel powerful. And that's a lot of the reason why like we love the gym, right? But I started noticing, and this is one of the realizations that I had, that like certain things that used to bother me at the beginning of my journey, like bodybuilding in particular, just don't really anymore. For example, like with the strength thing, I used to get so down on myself and be like, oh my God, like you're a failure, you're so weak. And I would like, it would ruin my workout. And now after doing this year after year and just maturing in the sport, I can see it come up, I can address it and be like, you know what, Julia, this is normal. And it's so easy for me to like pivot versus before, like I would let it ruin my whole day. I'd make it my whole personality, you know? Same thing goes with like body dysmorphia, because like at this point in prep, I'm still in a depleting phase where we don't have as much glycogen in the muscles. We're not eating very much carbs. So I'm looking very flat. And I'm looking at myself sometimes and I'm just like, you are so small, you have no muscle. Like I even did a photo shoot with Kendall for the Buff Bunny launch the other day, and she had to like correct me because she's an awesome friend and we do this for each other. She was like, if you say one more time that you look small, she's like, I'm not gonna be your friend anymore. And I was like, thank you so much for reminding me of that. And it is so, again, it's so much easier for me to like see that for what it is and know that this happens every time I'm depleting. It's part of the process, and then just move on. And I feel like that's a big part of just maturing in this sport, is that you get to see your body go through all of the phases. You have all of the mental battles and the things, and each time something new will show up, you know, of course. But now you can recognize them and then just not let it ruin your whole day. So that's one thing that I have just been noticing a lot. I'm noticing like a lot of changes like in my face and like weirdly my wrists, like my watch is fitting tighter. Like I was like, oh my God, I'm on like the 4th notch instead of the 3rd notch. It's so strange. And like even like my jawline, like these lines were never there. And like when you're like in the shower, you can feel like what your body feels like, and like things are just disappearing and floating away. Like even when I'm washing my face, like I'm feeling like more bone just because the fat on my face is going away. And even things like walking around my house, where I talked about this last season, but like my booty jiggle is going away. And usually that booty jiggle is from like fat, which there's nothing wrong with that. But like when you get peeled down to no fat and just the muscle, like it's so strange. I'm like walking around, I'm like, I'm just gonna float away into dust. Just poof, float away into dust, you know? But yeah, the last thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about, and this is something that I was kind of unaware of, and I think that's what makes it very sad, but also incredible at the same time. So I have been obviously documenting my journey for years with you guys. A lot of you have been here from the very beginning, from my first show ever. And recently I've been getting a lot of messages on Instagram, DMs, comments on my story, using words like, Julia, you're glowing. Julia, you have there's some sort of sparkle. Like, I don't know what it is, but it's a glow, it's a spark. Like using words like that. And like the first time I was like, oh my God, like that's so sweet. And the second time I was like, this is so sweet, but it's like, okay. And then the third time I was like, this is a pattern. And it was like, it kept happening. I was like, there's something here. So I really just sat down and thought about it. And it was just like, kind of sad to think that I went so long with less sparkle than I could have had. Do you know what I mean? To the point where people are noticing now that there's a glow about me. Meaning that like, I could have been this glowy all along. You know what I mean? That was loud. So it's sad in the sense of like, kind of like sad for past me, but like, we're not gonna sit there because she's doing the best she can, you know? And, but also like so incredibly grateful and happy that people are noticing this thing that I didn't really, that I wasn't aware of, you know what I mean? So that was just crazy, because I remember like the end of this past year, like it was rough, y'all. Like there was times where I went to bed just crying. There was times where like it literally felt like, I remember using the word torture to myself when, you know, when your mind just will not stop. It's like running 1,000,000 miles a minute, and it feels like at the end of the day you're exhausted just because you've run a marathon in your mind. It was like that, where it felt like torture, like just things popping in my head, images, things that were said, past things. I was having anxiety attacks, which is, I haven't had one in a long time. But in the midst of that, like I knew there was this small, like that small sliver of hope that was like, this is all going to make sense. It will make sense. You can't see it now. The answer is not going to be clear, but it will all make sense eventually. And that tiny sliver of hope some days was like the only thing that was like, all right, well, let's go. Let's do it again. Let's move through another day. And the universe delivered. God delivered. So it's just incredible. Yeah. I'm just so grateful, because this has already been such an incredible season. And we're not even done yet. And like, I've learned so much, and like, that's why I do this, because the bodybuilding is just the container that I use to do the thing that I love, and to challenge my body, my mind, my soul. And I'm just so grateful that you guys want to watch and you want to be here, because y'all help me in more ways than you can ever imagine. Like truly. So that's going to be it for today's video. I am so excited for the next one. Trust me, I'm going to be making my diligent notes, because I'm just having such a blast filming and recording again. And I feel like people were saying I feel like I have my sparkle back. So I love you guys so much, and you are more powerful than you think. Bye.